Hello, hello. Angie Fenimore here. This is Phat Chat with my writing coach. And we have Richard Paul Evans in the house. So, Rick.
I just signed this for your daughter's boyfriend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of my child too now.
They invited us to dinner, but the real reason was to get a signed book.
Yeah, really.
And
No
to do
kidding.
this, I've been totally ambushed.
So, yeah, I didn't do the ambushing. That was Michael.
Yeah.
Michael's the ambusher. I know, we all love Michael. So, something that really matters to me. The reason that I do what I do even is because I want to make a difference in the world. And this is access to that. One book can reach millions. And if you change the way people see and think, you change actions, and you can actually impact the world. So who better to join us than Richard Paul Evans, who, 40 New York Times bestsellers?
40 New York Times, yeah.
40 New York Times bestsellers. So Rick, I'd love to talk to you a little bit about what you're up to. Christmas Box House, like everything that you're up to, everything that's going on. What is it that's in your heart to share?
Netflix made an announcement today about one of my movies. They're producing as a feature film. That's exciting.
Very
And
exciting.
I'm not sure how much I can say, so they told me not to talk about it. So, okay. And then I'm getting ready to release another book, Noel Letters, which is getting really good reviews. I just got a really great review from Booklist today.
Awesome.
So it's kind of exciting.
That's really exciting. It's like you just really want to get connected to it's possible. And it takes something. It doesn't mean it's easy, right? But if you're committed to something bigger than yourself, anything and everything becomes possible. It's like the way can present itself to you, but you've got to be willing to take the actions. Pay the dues, do the work, right?
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
But the thing was, it was fun because I'm that kind of rare story. My first book sold 8 million copies, right? Became a #1 bestseller, #1 movie in America. And it's like, well, that doesn't just happen very often. But it was actually, that overnight success took 3 years. And frankly, I was pretty excited with the first 25 copies I did, and then the first 1,000 copies, and it was all fun, all the way. People said, "Do you know this was going to happen?" I said, "I didn't know it was going to happen until I started seeing it become the best-selling book in bookstores." And it's like, okay, now I just have to take what's happening here and somehow expand this to the rest of the world, which took 3 years. So.
Very good. What else would you like to share with us?
Well,
What else is going on?
Well, what Michael wanted us to talk about was actually doing good, about what you do with with success with books, and how books can change the world. And in your case of your book, it was a nonfiction book, and mine was fiction, though I read like nonfiction. And the first book I wrote was called The Christmas Box, for those who don't know what it was, and just a little novella that just went wild. And when it finally, it hit #2 on the New York Times bestseller list as a self-published book. And then all of a sudden, Carrie and I live in our little 700 square foot finished home, right? We're getting calls from people offering millions of dollars for the book rights. And that was kind of mind-blowing. And so when we got our first check, it went up into an auction, and Simon Schuster won with $4.25 million. So I get my first check, and it's like $1.5 million. Imagine, I'm coming from making $30,000 a year, and I get a check for $1.5 million, and I faxed it to my friend. I could see it, and he wasn't very happy. and then I went to the bank to see if I could cash it. That didn't work out, and then we start thinking, well, what do we do with this money? And the thing was, it's not that, I was raised poor. It's not like I wasn't grateful for it. But by that point, I figured out that life wasn't about money, that life was about these beautiful little girls I had, and that they were the source of all my joy. It's like, well, what if money ruins my kids? What if I lose my daughters? I go, this would be the most horrible of ironies. That I wrote a book about the love of a father for his daughters, and I lost my daughters. So Carrie and I start looking around and talking about what should we do for this, and we met with some financial consultants who really gave us a grim outline of what. It's like, well, we need to put in trust in ways that the kids, if they're drug addicts, can't get to it. It's like, this is a horrible conversation
Right.
to have. This literally happened. We walked out and we got into our minivan, and Carrie turned to me and said, "Can we just give the money back?"
Wow.
And it's like, whoa, wait a second. I was raised with 8 kids. It's like, no, I worked hard for this. And that's when we decided, well, why don't we use money in the way that it should be used? Money is just power. It's not good, it's not bad, so let's use it for good. And that's when we started the concept of helping abused and neglected children. So we started, it was tough, it almost bankrupted me. We started an organization called the Christmas Box House. And it actually ended up costing more money than I made. And it was quite a ride, but since that time we've helped 125,000 children.
And these are kids that...
Some are trafficked.
Exactly.
You know, there's a lot of talk about trafficking right now, and it's like, we've been doing this for 20 years, working with trafficked kids, but we don't do the sexy part. We do the hard part, the real part. Most kids who are trafficked, if they're saved, they just go back in. The average child goes back 7 times. And what we do is make sure they don't go back in. We give them a life. So we bring them in, we protect them, we get them schooling, we get them things they need to actually have a life and put them in a good placement so they can go on. So we've been doing this for a long time, and it just continues to grow. We're getting more involved. I've had groups come to me who are working with trafficking and asking if we can take our formula and the way we've helped so many kids at such a low price. It's like we're about serving, not about the sizzle.
Right.
We're about actually helping, and asking if we can help them help with the kids. And so a few weeks ago, I got a call from a woman who said, "We have a girl we just brought out of sex slavery, and can you take her?" And it's like, well, we're not set up to do that. It has to go through certain legal requirements. I said, but how did you end up with a girl? I mean, we have thousands and thousands of kids come through, but I can't just go take one, right? It's like, and she said, we actually rescued her. So we started a conversation, and it opened the door. It's like, well, she said, why don't you help us? And so that's what's happening right now. So Christmas Box House is going through this really fun reemergence, and it's exciting because we've helped a lot of kids. You're verklempt.
Thank you. Thank you for who you are, for what you do, for the difference that you make. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It's I think on my deathbed I'll look back and that'll be the thing I'm proud of.
Yeah.
Just
for sure. Well, and everything else, but
Yeah, but some things last. I mean,
Yes, exactly.
I had a book signing and this big long line. I'm sitting there and there's like this really cute teenage girl looking at me and staring. And it's like, well, that's cool because I'm in my 50s. And she gets up and she's like sitting there. She's so excited. She's like shaking. I go, well, you come up to the table. She comes. She goes, Mr. Evans, my whole life I've just wanted to meet you. I go, really? You like my books? She said, never read them. I go, oh, well, why did you want to meet me? She said, I'm one of your Christmas Box House kids. And she goes, she put her arm around this little teenage boy, and she goes, this is my brother Eric, and my parents are drug addicts, and we were taken out. There's no one who wanted both of us. We lived in your shelter until Mom and Dad got with it, and there were these 2 parents there, right, who adopted us these 10 years ago. And I said, do you want to sign books with me? And she goes, yeah. And we drank Slurpees and signed books. And I thought, this was a good day. And to just see this happy young lady and her brother, and they're so excited. And the counselor told her, it's like, if it wasn't for that Christmas Box House, you would have been split up and raised in separate homes. But we had a place to hold them and keep them until they were able to be kept together. And that's something that it's exciting to me that we're able to keep families together.
Yeah, so we had dinner, right? So, me and my husband and Rick and his wife, we all had dinner tonight. And one of the things we were just talking about is how you can see, we're like looking at the old pictures, like my great-great-great-great-grandfather, and Rick knows a Fenimore, and blah, 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 right? But here's the thing. It's like, not only have you made this difference for the kids, but this is like, it goes on generationally, and their children and their children and their children. Something that I say is that one smile can impact people that you'll never meet,
That's true.
And, there you go. I mean, I have nothing else to add to this. Like, really, no kidding. Get over yourselves, you guys. Quit trying to do it right. Quit trying to so hard that it's like, if you connect up to what really matters to you, like what's bigger than you, okay, then you'll find the courage to do what has to happen in order to find the road to get there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you again. This is so great.
Thank you.
Okay. Ciao for now.